And in the caverns they've got like water underground. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great? I'd take some supplies, maybe 3 months of supplies, and go and live in the caves in the Nullarbor. No one lives there. Surely there they'd leave me alone. But then as I fantasised about being the hermit of the Nullarbor, I fantasised about what would happen next. Soon somebody would find me. Because people always explore, and they'd find this old monk, the hermit of the Nullarbor. And they go back home and they tell new idea. I saw that in these papers. A new idea will be a feature of me, the hermit of the Nullarbor. And then after they did a feature of me, then the tour buses would start arriving. And when they had the tour buses, they'd have to have a cafe next to it, selling Devonshire teas and little certificates. I visited the hermit of the Nullarbor. And then Channel 9 would do a documentary. And that would be the end, of the hermit of the Nullarbor. Now, that is actually feasible. The point is that even as a monk, you can't run away and hide. And if the more you complain about that, the more suffering you make for your life. So, I understood very young into life that you're not in control of life. When you're not in control of life, you stop complaining. I'm not in control of what I have to do. Sometimes I work very hard and think, oh, why me? Why do I have to do this? But I learned a long time not to actually to complain, to look at another way. You can always have a positive attitude to whatever you have to do in life. You remember Ajahn Chah telling the story of the man who was walking along one day in the forest and he saw a big hole. And the bottom of the hole was a treasure worth millions. So he leaned over and tried to pick up the treasure. You know, the hole was just a bit too deep. He leant and stretched his arm, but he couldn't reach the treasure. And he was complaining, the hole's too deep, the hole's too deep. Another man came along and said, what's wrong? He said, look, there's a treasure down there, but I can't reach it, the hole's too deep. And the man said, you silly fellow, get out of the way, I'll show you what the problem is. He got a stick. He said, it's not the fact the hole's too deep. The problem is your arm's too short. So he extended his arm with a stick and took the treasure out and went away. Now the moral of that story is, when we complain the hole's too deep, the hole's too deep, the hole's too deep, a lot of time when we complain we're not doing anything about it, we're just getting negative. It's never the fact that the hole's too deep, it's your arm is too short. And you can always extend your arm with a stick. Always remember that story. So instead of complaining, we always do something about it. Which is why one of those favourite sayings, which is in that book, Open the Door of Your Heart, always rather light a candle than complain about darkness. Well, as human beings, we complain so much. We complain, but hardly do we ever do anything.